He's a hero now to basketball fans in this country, but boy, he's been a hero for years to people in his hometown of Carroll, Iowa. And I want to introduce you this morning to a special guest all the way from Iowa. Brandon Hurley, who's a sports reporter with the local paper, the Carroll Times Herald, drove himself to Toronto because he is on the Nick Nurse beat. He is the Nick Nurse beat reporter. I'm so glad to meet you.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to meet you as well. Thank you for having me on.
The Nick Nurse beat reporter. That's fantastic. Does he mean that much to the folks of Carroll?
Yeah, he absolutely does. I mean, Carroll's a town of only 10,000 people. So when a moment like this occurs, someone from that town is a head coach of an NBA team, but a great NBA team, I mean, you have to go all in. So I've been, ever since was named head coach here last summer, it was just Nick Nurse, Nick Nurse, Nick Nurse. There was probably a lot of overkill there, but obviously it's paid off.
How much fun for you to cover this incredible ride. Has all of Carroll jumped on the Raptors bandwagon?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it really exploded once the Raptors made the finals and everybody just came out of the woodwork and was so excited. And I think, in turn, it made them Carroll NBA fans, because the thing about Iowa, there's no NBA team there.
Okay.
And so now I think hopefully it turned them on to the NBA, and seeing that a guy from Carroll can have success in the NBA.
After what we just heard was this incredible route. The development leagues pro in Europe, England, and in Belgium, assistant to Dwayne Casey for 5 years, head coach, and he wins it all. What is it about Nick Nurse that has enabled him to do that in his first year as head coach, do you think?
I think it's, like he mentioned in that interview you guys showed, it's just a lot of hard work, and then it's the ability to adapt and change. He's never been one to just sit idly by and commit to what he wants to do. He knows if something's not working, he'll go in and change it. He's practiced with, in practice, it's a notorious story that he'll practice sometimes with 4-point lines just to get his guys in the mindset that, hey, we need to shoot three-pointers. He tries different styles of defenses. He's just a guy that innovative comes to my mind, is that he innovates and he's always changing. And number one, he's a hard worker.
And he's not total Zen master, as we've seen with other coaches, but the players talked about how they can only recall twice in this whole season when he raised his voice, when he got angry at something that went awry. Tell me about his temperament.
Yeah, he's very, on the court, he has a lot of weird, strange reactions.
Man, he's fun to watch,
he's a lot of fun. I've never seen a coach like that before with so many different reactions, but you're right, he's a very calm and cool and collected guy, and it's rubbed off on a lot of his players. It helps a lot that he has a guy like Kawhi Leonard on the team that has kind of same mindset as, hey, this win doesn't mean too much, this loss doesn't mean too much. And I think that has carried along with him throughout his whole career, and the only thing that Nick's ever wanted to do was win, and he's proven that he's a winner. He's won everywhere, and he won last night and brought an amazing championship to the country of Canada.
So you have a little bit of time before your deadline presses. You can think about all of this. Tell me what your lead's going to be, what your piece is going to be on Carroll's favorite son when you put it in the paper.
You know, I haven't had a whole lot of time to talk about it. I got a little bit to think about it. I got a little bit of sleep last night and then came here. But it's just something probably bringing a championship to Iowa. I mean, like I said, there's no NBA team, and there was only one other Iowan coach that ever won an NBA title. So it's a really rare moment, and then I think I'm gonna write several stories, obviously. And
you're gonna write about Jurassic Park, because that's
absolutely.
where you watch
what I was gonna say.
To talk about the impact of their favorite son on Canadians. Tell me how what that experience was like for you.
It was electric. It was amazing. It was one of the most incredible scenes I've ever been a part of. Everybody was riding those waves of emotion up and down, and when Toronto turned that ball over right at the end of the game, you could just feel an audible gasp, and everybody's like, not again, we're gonna lose. But then once it happened, it just erupted, and it was amazing. The streets were so packed. I mean, I'm not from Toronto, so I was lost in the first place, and then you get all those people around, and I was actually in the middle of all of it trying to get a lot of video, and it was just tremendous. A lot of happy emotions, a lot of fireworks and whatnot. It was amazing.
Look forward to reading your pieces. Safe drive back as you take yourself back, and good luck on the Nick Nurse beat in the future.
Hopefully there's more championships to come.
You bet. So nice to have your perspective from Carroll, hometown of Nick Nurse. Brandon Hurley, our guest sports reporter, Nick Nurse beat reporter with the Carroll Times Herald. Thanks again.
Thank you.